My name is Joe, and I'm a retired high school teacher and a retired high school principal. What I'm about to say is in behalf of Parkland. It is also in behalf of all students, parents, teachers, administrators, staff, the public throughout this country. The information I'm going to present comes from two sources primarily in my thoughts. The two sources are the Washington Post and the Sun-Sentinel. The State of the Union by Donald Trump this past week talked about war. President Trump would like to wind it down in Afghanistan, Syria, patted himself on the back for stopping war with North Korea. However, he forgot something. There is a war going on in this nation right now, and it's being just there every day. If you don't know where that war is, let me spell it out for you. It's in the schools. The schools are war zones. Do not think that it is not that way. Hopefully, after I'm finished here, you will see that it is that way. 187,000 students, teachers, and others have been exposed to gun violence since Columbine, which took place in 1999, 13 dead there, followed by Sandy Hook, 25 dead there, Stoneman Douglas, 17. The 187,000 people exposed to gun violence in schools encompass over 190 elementary schools and high schools. That 187,000 figure of students and teachers exposed exceeds the population of Fort Lauderdale. I live in Florida. Hispanic and Black students suffer the most. Violence against them is 2 to 3 times higher than whites. Over 130 students, teachers, others have been killed. 254 injured. Took place over 36 states in Washington, D.C. Doesn't matter where you are, it seems. Big cities, small towns, suburbs, doesn't matter. Happens everywhere, it seems. Why does this happen? Number one cause, number one reason, gangs and grudges. Number two reason, other grudges, such as grudge against bullying, perhaps grudge against failed relationship, like the cruise boy. That seemed to have motivated and triggered him. 65% of all students are specifically targeted by the shooter. 7 of 10 of the shooters are under 18. 16 is the median age. 85% of the shooters got their guns from home or family or relatives or friends. Easy to do. American citizens own 250 million firearms. The politicians are dishonest. The NRA pays them to spout this propaganda. Mental illness is the major cause. It's not. It's gangs, grudges, 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 grudges. It's not schizophrenia. It's not psychotic behavior. Metal detectors will not work. What good is the metal detector if the kid's outside the school waiting for somebody to come out of school and they shoot him? Armed security is far from perfect. Look at Stoneman Douglas. Since Stoneman Douglas, 12 guns have been confiscated inside a Palm Beach County school. Different schools. A student came forward to tell what was happening there. Schools are war zones. War zones. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Just a minute. I want you to picture a child going to kindergarten for the first time. During the second week of school, the teacher decides and has to teach that class full of kindergartners Code Red. Code Red. That means hunker down, bunker down, dig a trench, hide, get prepared, because you may be shot by an intruder. The teacher doesn't tell the kid about the armed intruder, but after the practice is done, the kid will raise their hand, his or her hand. Teacher, Mrs. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, is this about a shooter? The child is 5 years old. 5 years old. So stop and think about this being multiplied over and over again. Every month, from kindergarten to grade 12, we practice Code Red. If that's not trauma, if that's not anguish, over and over again, a war zone is being created. I'm sure countless students suffer from trauma, PTSD. I had a dream last night because I knew I was going to do this presentation today. And I'm going to share that dream. In my dream, the students, the children, keep in mind these are children, not just students. They're real people. They're human beings. The children are crying out, the politicians don't care. The politicians are lying. How do you know they're lying? They're lying. They don't care. They're lying. They say they care. They don't care. How do you know they don't care? This was not even mentioned in the State of the Union, ladies and gentlemen. Not by Donald Trump. This was not even mentioned in the rebuttal by the Democrats. So much for them. As the dream progressed, the voices I was hearing from these students and children, coming from the grave, unnecessarily, turned to a soft tone, almost a whisper. And they were saying, not in unison, but over and over again, I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss my brothers and sisters. I miss grandma. I miss grandpa. I miss everybody. That's the dream.